Okay, looks like we're live. Hello, and welcome to a special episode of The Joy of Planting. This will be sort of a standalone episode. I don't have any series going at the moment, and wanted to do just a little video update, both of this project I've been working on for a little while, and just kind of a notification. I don't think there's anyone who really follows the YouTube channel that doesn't generally watch me, on Twitch or stuff like that. So I'm not positive. Maybe there's a couple of you. Who knows? But just wanted to do a little channel update of sorts, and go over this project. I figured like a short one-off vignette video would be the perfect way to do it. So, hello Orion. Can you say hi too? Matt, hello. Welcome to the stream. Let's see. I should kick some music off. Can open that up. Yes, Orion, I know. Oh, I just got a mouthful of cat hair. Thanks, Orion. Yes, get off my phone. Thank you. Alright. So, yeah, we'll just go over some quick channel stuff. So I think it's probably pushing about 2 months now since I have released a video on YouTube. And, well, I haven't uploaded it yet, obviously, because I'm recording. But, I'm planning on uploading this one. I figured I'd just give you like a little 5-minute spiel on what's been going on. I just didn't have any projects that... Here, let me turn that volume down just a little bit. Didn't have any projects that I felt fit. Like everything I've been working on is partially finished stuff that I wouldn't be able to start from scratch on. And this one, which has changed kind of direction a couple times, so it wasn't conducive to a series, so I didn't make one on it. Start with not jump. We'll get there. Don't worry. The stream will devolve quickly. Or let me in for joint course reviews. Again, we can do that in a bit. I just wanted to do a quick video. Let's see. I don't have any current plans to kick off a new Joy of Planting season just yet. I might do a couple more little videos like this that are just one-offs. But since CC contest is kicked off, I will try to do video playthroughs for all of those, which will be a lot of courses. We'll see how that goes. The channel might be flooded with new videos if that happens, but we'll see. That's the goal for now. And doing that and a series at the same time would be a little ridiculous. So do some planting or eat some dinner, and then you can hop in. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so I think I just wanted to go over just kind of a couple of for those of you who see this and were interested in how it was made, I can go over a couple of the construction techniques and stuff, and then I'll do some finishing and planting, that type of stuff for a little bit, and then we'll move into other stuff. Hey Heisenberg, welcome to the stream. Alright, I think that was all I wanted to say. Oh, yes, I'm sure you've noticed by now I have a new microphone. Hopefully it's a significant upgrade in audio quality from the last one. I think all of the first couple holes are about done. As in they have T-boxes, the sculpting's about done, the greens are about where I want them, and they have 4 pins. I can certainly tweak everything as needed, but yeah, 4 is probably good, or 3 is probably good. 4 is about good. Might need some planting in places. Ah, that's right, I was working on 5, so we can start on that. I think I have 4 pins for this one. Yes, I do. Have you turned on noise suppressor for the mic? I believe so. I can tweak the settings if you think it's off, but I believe I've turned it on, yes. There's a bit of an echo chamber going on. Yeah, no worries. I mean, it's not the biggest room that I'm streaming in. I don't know why there'd be much of an echo, but I can look into it. I think I'm just using settings that were recommended by a couple other folks with similar mic setups, so. Admittedly, I have not done a lot of tinkering with it. It's mostly just, again, plug and play and then put on a couple filters that were recommended. And that was about it. Alright, let's see. So yeah, this will be, like, in terms of stuff I throw up on YouTube. Although I guess most Joy of Planting episodes are kind of rambly in terms of their contents. So I guess this isn't that out of place. It's been a little while. I forget how we usually handle them. But yeah, the planting for this is super simple. I want to keep it pretty minimalist. Just enough to kind of break some off-course areas up. So, like, we're just doing little patches of multi-plant grass, just as kind of a base texture. Some buried bushes and stuff. Couple buried trees when I want to break up the default texture. This one's in Delta, so I can use that sandy texture just to kind of, like over here. Just to break up the sameness of like off-course stuff. It's recommended to drink whiskey the day of your second stabbing. Yeah, I'm just not in the mood for it today. I feel pretty okay. Like, the first shot did not bug me at all, basically. My arm was kind of tingly and a little sore for a day, and that was basically it. Otherwise, I didn't even notice. Today, the arm is a lot more sore. I at the moment, I cannot lift my arm over my head. Oh, is it almost whiskey hour? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stream over anybody. I just, I didn't have anything going on this evening and just wanted to get a little stream in. Didn't mean to step on anyone's toes. That's totally fine. We'll just throw in some buried bushes in places. Again, just to jazz this area up a little bit. Also, my apologies if I'm struggling to keep up with chat a little bit tonight. I'm usually okay at multitasking, just a little extra tired today. I don't feel wiped out from the shot or anything, but I can definitely feel just a little extra, like fatigue might be the wrong word, but just definitely waves of kind of tiredness. So, we'll just be a little slower than normal. You think you have a CC routing. Nice. It's not more complex, it's just me like just tapping multiple like, you know, either cycling through menus or just kinda like doing like quick rotations and stuff. Instead, I don't know, I just tend to just kind of rapid click stuff instead of like holding it down. But it's pretty easy. Oops. And then I'm gonna go grab this grass. We have our little base layer, and then I want to scale one up so it's a little more visible from further out. And it, you know, adds a little depth to our kind of grassy areas. That's basically all I'm doing for this course. It's very subtle, just kind of blends into the background. You see results from Ep.2 today. I need to catch up on that. I have not watched any of the practices yet. That might be... I think I'm gonna be probably working from home tomorrow. Probably doing a half day. Just we'll see how tomorrow goes and how wiped out I am from vaccine. So I was gonna put some of that on in the background tomorrow. And either get some work done or take a nap. Or do both at various points during the day. We'll see. Admittedly, I don't tend to watch practice stuff as much. I'll usually just catch highlights and stuff. But was it any good? Oh, does WTF have a new podcast out tonight? That's cool. Also, I don't mind if it's spoiled. It's still, you know, it just means I won't miss whatever it is that happened during the practice if when I watch it. Again, between the PGA and all the other stuff, I'm not that concerned about missing free practice stuff. You've got a point, maybe I should read it. I'm like, what are we talking about? Oh, the random article that you had. My bad. Sorry, just struggling to follow several threads at once. I think I already did all the sculpting on this one. I think all I really needed to do was just sprinkle in some planting in the empty areas, and then we're kind of done with this one, which is nice. Some of the holes are further along than others. And maybe I'll sprinkle a little bit. I think I sprinkled a couple little wildflowers in spots. Maybe I'll sprinkle a couple more of those in some places, but in the meantime, we're just keeping it simplistic, and if something still looks empty, I can just kind of slowly add a little bit more complexity as we go. 1-2 and FP2, nice. Good for them. Admittedly, I'm very much not a Ferrari fan, so I was kind of hoping they would suffer a little bit more. But, me getting into F1 was kind of like end of 2019 into 2020. So, me really getting interested in it was, them cheating in 2019 and getting punished for it, and probably not harshly enough. So naturally, I'm, just kind of rooting for them to suffer for a couple of years as a, retribution, I guess, for just cheating their asses off. Plus, they definitely have kind of a evil empire type vibe, which, I'm usually not, really not into that sort of, like your Yankees and Patriots of sports. Of course, I suppose lately it's Mercedes is the evil empire, and I really don't mind them at all. Yeah, F1 just has the FIA Ferrari has the FIA wrapped around their finger, and it's just a bad look. It's just like, hey, we're the biggest name, and we're just gonna, ride it forever and just milk it for all it's worth. I don't know. I've admittedly, I wasn't around for his stretch of dominance. He's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. He has some Brady vibes. All right, I think that's good enough for this one. Do a quick save. Maybe do some play testing. I mean, Kimi Räikkönen is still competent. Just, he definitely has some stretches where he kind of shows his age. Huh. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I'm like, why isn't the controller working? It is. He definitely has days where he drags that Alfa Romeo, way past where it should be. I don't really have any strong feelings about Vettel, but he definitely looks like... Again, I wasn't really around for his stretch of dominance either, but he looks so lost. Sure, I guess this one plays just fine. 6 is wonderful as well. I gotta, I can tweak that hillside just a little bit. It looks just a little busy. I love what it's got going on there, but... Well, that's a shot. So yes, for those of you, tuning in, this is probably just going to be an all F1 stream, and that's just what we're going to talk about. So my condolences for those of you who don't care about F1. Alright, so I think we're about done with 5. 6 I can go revisit. Again, I love this hole. I love this shot. Let's do a quick save before I do anything too drastic with the slopes on this one. Because once I do some stuff with it, it'll be hard to undo it. Like, we still want it to roll off, but I didn't want it to be, like, insane. I think I like that. That's about what we want there. Again, we'll have to check the greens a little bit as we go. We'll do just a little bit of slope there, just to make sure that this rolls off like we want. I assume he was like a evening charge. I was following a little in the morning and was catching up on coverage, but just kind of ran out of energy on that. So I did not see Corey Connors play. Have a good one, Adam. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Alright, this one's already got all the tees out. Green's already mostly done. I might have to ease up on the slopes just a little, but we do want this to be the most severe of the greens. And also this is at full 187, which I will not be publishing at. So it's allowed to be a little borderline, because this is, you know, this is the course that the absolute hardest it could possibly play. And we've already done a lot of the sculpting on this one too. I should probably do show off a hole where I haven't finished the sculpting, just to kind of show that process off a little bit. I think since we're just doing one episode for this course and we're not doing a full, you know, like a full season or, you know, anything like that for this project, I should try to at least just highlight all of the anything that's unique about this in terms of process. I should probably try to highlight. Like, I wouldn't say the course was toothless today. Yeah, it wasn't, like, brutally hard, but it didn't look easy either. It looked like a proper major. Oh, what did Corey Connors end up shooting? I haven't checked the leaderboard since, like, 2 or 3 o'clock. So did he make it to like 4 under, or are we talking 7 under or something like that? -5. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's a fairly good, you know, score for round 1 and somebody who lit it up. If I had to guess, I'd bet you the winning score falls around that like -6, -7 territory. Probably. Unless it plays significantly easier. Then maybe it'll get to like -10, but I bet you the scores aren't gonna slide downward that much from where they're at now. Sorry about the plant meter. It's funny, this might be the lowest I'll get on a plant meter for a very long time. Because it's so minimalist. Like, I'm sure I can get a little aggressive with random stuff once we get closer to finishing, but I don't imagine the plant meter gets above 30 or so for this course. And that's with Clubhouse and everything. Because, I mean, just in terms of area, I'm over half. I already did all the trees on the outside. I can thicken those up in places, but we don't need a ton. It's just, I can copy-paste some stuff so that you can't see through all of it. That sort of stuff. This is from the Twitch soundtrack. Is there a Twitch soundtrack? I mean, this is from what's it called? Soundstripe, which is like a Twitch app that has royalty-free music. And it's a couple playlists, so like I have definitely heard songs from it in places, like people use it for stuff. Again, it's pretty passable background music for free that, isn't going to get you copyright strikes or videos pulled or things like that. So definitely, definitely a good thing to have. But yeah, now that I'm familiar and, I've heard all these songs enough in my own streams from, just streaming regularly and just always having this on, I'm sure it'll get, it's already getting a little repetitive, but it's also just supposed to recede into the background, so it's not that much of an issue. And I really don't want to go pay money to, to liven it up. Gotta go find a hole that needs a little bit of sculpting left. I don't need this to be a particularly long episode. We just wanted to do just a little something to throw into the on the YouTube channel. Partly just to do a little update, just to add a little content. Like, I don't need a regular upload schedule. I think we're gonna have a batch of CC courses, and that'll probably be it in terms of serious content for a while. Or at least, like, regular content. But I didn't really have any, we didn't have any random topics I wanted to cover, other than, hey, I'm getting close to this course being done. I should probably show it off a little and walk the viewers through the build process and stuff as much as I can in a short episode. Admittedly, even though this has been all planting so far. So we'll do... See, I don't know if I have any holes that need... I think I've got T-boxes done for most of the front 9. Those are easy. Those are just little splines. Alright, just, find land that fits and just do little doodly splines. Bunkers are kind of standard, like they're the little gingerbread man shapes that I usually do. And it's just having big waste area bunkers. That fits the vibe I'm going for. This one needs to be redone, so we'll at least do one of these. And then lots of just roughing the terrain up. Like, the front line's mostly done in that regard. I've mostly gone through and added contours and a couple back 9 holes, but there's also places like 11 still very flat. I need to go dial the terrain up. Mainly, I started a little flat on this one because I just figured this course would be a little easier to route with just the major contours in there, and I can just dial the little dunes and things up in between all of the holes to add that visual interest without it being really cumbersome to come up with a good routing. Why multi-planting instead of using a copy-paste grass farm? Mainly because there's just so little grass, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm not worried about plant meter because I don't have really any, and I can just do like click, 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 10 clicks and like a whole area is done, and then just sprinkle a couple spots in. What was I looking? Oh yeah, I was rebunkering 8. Sorry about that. I was getting caught up in me rambling about how this one was coming together. All right, so we want a bunker here. It's just finding shapes that I think fit in that spot and look interesting. We'll probably do something like that as our top spot, you know, like our top line for it. We'll kind of run this up and down. I think this fits. Something like that. Yep, that works. I just need to flatten this bottom part out. Should be easy enough. I'll do a little quick overall flatten there. Look a little bathtub-ish, but yeah, it looks okay. It's fine by me. All right, we'll go sprinkle that one in. Actually, hold on. Let's do a little more. Let's add a little more pan to it. Just a little bit more flattening, and we'll use a little bit of a sharper brush to kind of define the edges of it just a little bit. Go a little big there. Copy paste still takes more than single planting. What, in terms of plant meter? It's exactly the same as if you individually planted stuff. Like the multi-plant is the one that takes a little bit more meter. I think copy paste works exactly the same as individually planting it. And the multi-plan only, like, it only takes up more memory because it's procedurally generated, I think. Again, I have not looked into the code at all, so I can't confirm any of these things, but the way I think it works is when you individually plant stuff, you know, it stores that information in your course file as, here's this object, like probably like an object number, here's the location and the size and the rotation, and that's it. So for every object you plant, it just stores them all individually of, here's all of the brushes or objects or whatever he placed, and here's the sizes and locations of them. When you multi-plant, since you're just doing bunches at once, I believe they're procedurally generated, so so it's got to come up with whatever the equation and seed and all of that stuff it used to generate that plant. I think that requires a little bit more info to be stored. I'm not positive. Because actually, I mean, when you get into like really big amounts of objects, you'd think that storing an equation to procedurally generate everything would require less storage space than, you know, the individual lines of code for all of them. But at least for small groups, I think it would take more data. I'm not positive. This isn't my favorite bunker, but it looks okay. Again, we can always revisit it. If I feel like it just really obviously just looks bad or something, I can, you know, we can adjust it later. Yeah, it looks a little better. Sure. That's fine. I don't like the way this land is contoured, so we might... It just looks funny, so we might flatten that out. And then go add fresh contours to it. Just jazz it up. The way I do that, so I usually just do raise. We'll raise some, we'll do like a raise or a lower, somewhere in like the 1 to 2 foot range. And we'll just, you know, we'll alternate between raises and lowers and just kinda, you know, we'll click and drag at places, we'll do stuff like that. Just, and you want to do raise rather than flatten, because you want to add complexity to the landscape instead of like smoothing it over, so. Alright, at least looks better to me. It's not crazy, but this one doesn't need to be insane either. Oh, your bunkers look annoyingly good in general. well, thanks. Again, lots of practice helps. Just kind of being able to look at the... It's just a lot of practice, and just being able to kind of look at the land that's there and pick out a shape that probably works, and then just tweaking it as you see fit. They don't always come out perfect the first time. Some of them require a couple drafts, that sort of thing. I don't think there's a ton more bunkers to add. I want to redo these on 15. These ones just look terrible to me. I like the green side one, or not the green side, but the layup area ones. Those look fine. 16, I want to redo this whole portion of it. Actually, let's give that a go. 'Cause I hate the way that front portion looks. I love the green side one on this hole, and I hate the front one. So we're going to delete all of this, and then take a look and see what we've got and what I think would fit. Alright. I want to redo this bit just a little bit. Just, like, something about it looks off. I can usually tell when something, you know, I'm good at telling when it looks good to my eye, but I'm not very good at being able to voice out why, which means that I'm probably a decent teacher for bunkers, but not the best teacher, because I can't really vocalize what I'm doing a lot of the time. It's just instinct, and just going by what looks right to me. I think we can probably scoop it out this way a little bit, and that might be interesting. Like, we have this little ridge line here, and we can kind of use that as a, like as an outer boundary for this big area waste bunker, and that might look pretty cool. So I think that'll do. And then just tweak that landform just a little bit. Like, I could probably lower it just a little so that there's a kind of continuous flow. Like, this is the high point, it flows downward in this direction. The key to, like, these big waist bunkers is, like, they don't have to be perfectly flat, but I generally want them to kind of, like, fade in one direction. Honestly, I struggle with flat bottom bunkers. I've tried them a couple times, and it's hard for me to do. Like, Ben and I were working on Sapelo River for a while. I mean, we're still working on it. It's just, you know, not as actively because we both have other projects rolling. But you know, when we were working on that, that's what we were doing with the bunkers, was the kind of Rainer flat bottom look. And I could lay the bunkers out in terms of shapes and making them work visually, but I couldn't sculpt them. It's just, it requires a technique that I'm not good at yet, and Ben was way better at that than I was, so like, I'm essentially just letting him handle those bunkers for now. Okay, he worked with Joe on some collabs, and he's the... Hey, Terry got a hole-in-one on his own course. Nice. It's not something I'd want to do on a lot of courses, but like, doing it once is fun, in my opinion. Like, there's lots of stuff that I wouldn't use very often that I would love to do once just because. And sometimes you won't get a really good pan doing this. Like, there'll be spots like this where the texture, there's basically no bunker brush here, but it's close enough that it covers that gap. But when you're missing spots, like, if you have little bumps like that, it means that your objects don't quite touch. And if you just run like a brush over it, it'll flatten those out. So if you ever are really struggling to get like a pan to be flat for you, that might be what the issue is, and it's worth a look for that reason. I think I'd already done some fairway sculpting on this one. And I had done some dune sculpting and stuff. I think we can dial these up just a little bit. Let's just do a click and drag with a raised brush, just to, you know, just to emphasize some of these dunes a little bit. Just to make that interesting. I like that look. Yeah, 100%. Like, I've definitely gotten better at some of that stuff as I've attempted it, but like, just diving in and trying to do a course and having high standards and just, you know, not wanting to just make like mediocre stuff. You know, it's always going to be mediocre your first time around. I don't have as much patience with that as I should. Alright. It's that whole, you get good at doing one thing, and when you go back and try something else, you're not good at it. But it's just you're used to being good at stuff, and you just don't have the same patience for that learning process that you should. And I just need to work on that and just be more patient with stuff. Or just, it gets to the point where if your standards get high enough that it becomes crippling, and that it's like nothing you do is ever good enough. And it gets in the way of the creative process. So it's just being able to let stuff go and let stuff happen. It's just a very important, to me, like, skill set to learn, of just, like, everything isn't going to be perfect all of the time. every course you make isn't necessarily going to be better than the one before it. Sometimes you'll get hot early type thing, and you'll just have a great idea and you try something else and it just doesn't work the same way, and it's just not nearly as good. That's okay. Yeah, I'm trying to work on a links at the moment as well, and yeah, again, it's another thing that just does not come easily to me, and it's just, like, it's really interesting. I've made one links course that I've actually published way back. And, it was okay by TGC1 standards, by modern standard, or, by like 2K21 standards, where the tools we have are better, and the community has learned enough stuff as a whole, and have pushed everyone's pushed each other to get better. So that just the resources available to learn how to do stuff is so much better. Just the average quality of courses that you see is significantly better than it was in TGC1 for a multitude of reasons. So by the standards of what we're doing now, it's garbage. And because it had to be done with shapes, there was no splines or anything like that. In order to renovate it, I'd need to completely tear everything out and redo it. So renovating it would be just as much work as creating a new course. And it's just a question of if there's enough salvageable there, and like the routing and the whole ideas to justify putting that much effort into it. And really, I think the answer is no, which is why I haven't renovated it yet. But, I don't know, we'll see. I've been running low on new course ideas for a little bit, so I don't mind, potentially sinking a little bit of time into, like a kind of pointless, 100%. Yeah, it would be endlessly more efficient to do a new course than it would be to renovate this one. The only reason I'm even considering renovating it is purely because it's realistically, it's like the first course I ever made that was decent. It was a significant step up from everything else I had made before it. It was the first one I had that got on tour. So again, for nostalgic reasons is the only reason that I would be bothering renovating it at all. I know going in that it is not remotely a efficient use of time. No, I don't want to move here. We want the waypoint to be at the back tees. There we go. Alright, perfect. So we'll see. And again, it's just decent enough that I think it's hosted an event in TGC1, TGC2, and 2019. And it had been briefly considered for stuff in 2K21, and I just don't think it's good enough as is to justify having an event on it. Yes, Orion, hi. Oh, no worries. It happens. Plus, hey, you can always multitask. You can have this on in the background and work on your course. Like these streams and videos, whatnot, are great for background. Like when I'm designing, I'm either streaming myself or I'm watching somebody else stream. It's just great distraction from kind of what is otherwise kind of tedious work. Hi, Orion. Yeah, I know you're all wound up because it's about time to feed you. Ow! Ow! That hurt. Don't bite me. All right. Well, anyway, we're at about the hour. Well, I guess we're at 50 minutes. But I need to redo this green, but I don't really have any great ideas for it just yet. I might tinker with it off stream, but I think that's good enough for a quick Joy of Planting kind of vignette video. I'll probably go feed Orion, and I'll be right back with either some rounds or some reviewing, just more nonsense. I'll be back in a couple minutes, so stick around. For those of you watching live, for those of you watching the video on playback, here I'll pause the music. For those of you watching it on YouTube or playback, thank you for joining me. We'll be uploading some content eventually. It'll just be a little quiet for a little while longer. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, thanks again for joining me. It was great having you, and until next time, have a good one.